Hey, Xiaomi here. So today I wanted to do a video where I tell you probably that I'm back, what the hell has been happening with me for the past couple of months, and also like my recent reads and also new content that I'm going to start adding into my YouTube channel just because I want to document certain things that I want to go through, and also I want to start writing. So that's something that I'm going to be bringing more content into my YouTube video. I'm going to be posting a video on Saturday as to how I outline and what has worked for me. I'm also going to pitch in a little bit of what is Project Night Creature, which is roughly what I'm working on. But yeah, I just want to get right into this video. Where have I been? What the hell has been happening? You don't know anything about me. My name is Xiomara, short for Xiomi, and I live in the island of Puerto Rico. I am a teacher here in Puerto Rico since the end of December, going into January and February and even March, because we recently felt a few. We have been plagued with an immense amount of earthquakes. The biggest one hit us on January the 7th, which was a horrible, traumatizing experience. It just was overwhelming every single day to, feel earthquakes like every hour. There were moments when we had like 20 or 30 in one day, and it was just so much to handle that it just messed with my mind. It messed with my mentality. It messed with a lot of things within me, and I just could not cope with a lot of things that were happening. So if I mentally wasn't feeling right to even speak to a camera, I wasn't even having the ability to read, I just wasn't gonna feel right filming. It was a lot of things that were happening that I was just like, I can't deal with this because it's so much. You don't know if the walls are gonna fall on you, the ceiling is gonna fall on you. You don't know what's gonna happen. So the uncertainty of everything that was happening was just traumatizing. Everything was just, you were trying to find the good in things, and it was rough couple of months. I don't even count January as a month for me. January did not happen, and February was just another horrible month. So like I said, these were continuous months when we were feeling earthquakes, so it was really difficult to actually do anything. The huge epicenter of these earthquakes was roughly in the south side. That's where I reside, so that's why I felt it extremely immense and powerful, and just like, oh, and it was extremely traumatizing also because, like I said, I'm a teacher, and there was a school that collapsed. It just fell, and it was just hard watching these images of your island being destroyed by something that you really aren't expecting, because like, you tell us floods, we can deal with that. You tell us tropical storms, we can deal with that. You tell us hurricanes, we are ready. There is mass chaos the day leading up to it, but we can deal with it. You tell us earthquake, no, it's something that we as a community haven't felt before. Like, I think the last earthquake was like 100 years ago, so a lot of us are new to this experience. We don't know how to react to it, and watching the news and them not knowing how to react to it, we're not knowing how to react to it, everybody is like, wait, what the hell are we gonna do? How are we gonna do this? What are we gonna deal with? And like I said, it was a really hurtful situation. And then watching the news and knowing that this school collapsed, knowing that you're a teacher, it was just, I still think about it and it's just so painful. I was able to go to my school and see it. My school is destroyed. Like, really, we can't give class, which we haven't been giving class for the past couple of days, for the past couple of months, not days, because the Department of Education did not know what to do. We don't know what to do. What the hell are we going to do? Like, what's happening? And it was just really difficult to get through the situation, but eventually, we got somewhere, and now we're with the coronavirus. So from earthquakes to coronavirus, things have been hectic, so yeah, that's roughly what's been happening with me, why I haven't been uploading as much as I want to, and why I didn't read as much as I wanted to also. But I did manage to read a few books, so that's really all I wanted to say on where have I been, because there are a lot of things that are really difficult to speak about, a lot of things that are traumatizing, and like, I got help because I needed that help. But as a person, I also know how to deal with myself and how to calm myself at situations. But there were times when I didn't know how to do it because it was just overwhelming. It was so much. But right now, I can say that I'm in a good mental state. So I'm just moving forward, I'm just moving forward because there's nothing else we can do, Okay, now I'm going to be getting into the books that I managed to read for the month of January and February. I read a couple of books. I read some through Scribd, some I don't have, some I do own. I'm going to be giving you a brief overall feeling of what I had of these books, because some of them I vaguely remember, especially I had a lot of not so great reads. So yeah, I'm just gonna be telling you which were the ones that I read, and some I'm gonna give you a little bit more because I really did enjoy a few of these. When I say a few, it's like a couple, probably like two. It was just bad reading months, bad experiences overall. And I'm going to be looking at my Goodreads, because like that's where I have them on. That's where, you know, I want to see exactly how many star ratings that I give it also. So I did read a couple of poetry collections. The first one that I'm going to speak about is The Princess Saves Herself in This One by Amanda Lovelace. I really did love that one. I loved how raw, how strong, how fierce it was, how much of a power it actually portrayed. It was a really good poetry collection. There are a lot of poems that I love that I even wrote in my notebook because they were just such great poems, you know. I really did enjoy them, even though some of them I would have loved to have been a little bit longer, because like this whole new poetry format, I'm still getting used to it. But overall, it was a pretty good one. And then I read The Witch Doesn't Burn in This One by the same poet, Amanda Lovelace. I gave that one 3 out of 5 stars. I just didn't like the turn it took, and while I did enjoy a few poems, it was just like a really strong feminist vibe to it, but one that I do not agree with, nor do I like. It's just, it had a lot of things that I just did not vibe with, you know. And I know that every poet is different, and you know, it's rough to say that I didn't like this poet's experience. Like, everybody deals with things differently, but that one I just did not like the take that I had to it, you know. And another one that I read was Dear Wallflower by Sarah Sakura. I have read her books before, and she did send me her poetry collection through e-format, and I really did enjoy her poetry collection. It was one that was really good. It was sentimental. It expressed a lot of emotions. I would have loved for her to expand it in a few other poems, but overall it was a very good poetry collection, one that I really did like. It also has that new poetry vibe to it, where it's really short or it has pictures and whatnot. I'm still, like I said, I'm still not used to those poetry collections, but I do enjoy them, and those were ones that I really did enjoy. And I do have again in my notebook a lot of different stanzas that I really did enjoy from that poem. So as for my reading, let's get into this. The first one that I read was Strange and Ever After by Susan Dennard. This is the 3rd and final installment within this series. I have to admit that the first book is the best one within the series. The second and the third one, I had the same issues, and I had to deal with the main character. Like, especially in this one, the main character was so infuriating. She had a lot of negative qualities to her in this one that I just did not like. She was annoying, complaining, whiny. It was just so much to handle. And again, like, the characters that I really did love, especially in the first one, were just, I don't know, I felt them like they were brushed to the side, and I wanted them to expand a lot more, and I wanted to feel these characters more, and it was just a lot to take in, you know. But overall, the one thing that I can say is that I'm glad that I finished this one. Anything memorable can I say about it? Aside from the fact that I finished it, I really can't grasp on something that I really did love. I can't even say the romance, you know, but yeah, this one, you know, I am going to be linking my Goodreads review down below, because I think that'll make a lot more sense than me right now. The one that I picked up was Tarte On by J. Kristoff. 3 out of 5 stars. I was really disappointed by the finale of this series. Now, bear in mind that I wasn't a huge fan of Nevernight. The best book in this series for me is God's Grave. I love that. There are a few things that I can nitpick with God's Grave, but overall I enjoyed everything about it. This one, there are a few aspects that I really did enjoy, but I think this one went back to the first one, and I just like I said, Nevernight really wasn't my favorite until the end. I can say that the second half of the second and the third act in Nevernight are what solidified the fact that I love these characters. And in this one, no, there were just a lot of things happening, and it's like the beginning, you're given what you want, and then all of a sudden, no, we're not gonna give it to you. We have to wait until the end. And then the middle section of this book is just roughly subplots, some that I don't even know what was the purpose of them, that really I didn't enjoy. And then we have the ending, and the way that this ends was not what I expected. Like, I expected something else, especially from Nevernight. You read that first introduction in Nevernight, you know what's going to happen to your main character. And what was given in this one, I just no, just no, you know? No. Also, what was the purpose? Okay, I'm not gonna say anything because of spoilers, but there's a lot of things that I'm questioning. What was the purpose of certain people coming back? Because like, I don't, it's just, I can't even explain it without giving spoilers. But yeah, I just did not enjoy this one, and I was hoping to love it because like I said, I really did enjoy God's Grave, but this one was a huge disappointment, and I was just like, I'm so sad. Then I picked up The Deepest Roots by Miranda Acevedo. This is the first book that I read from this author, but oh my god, I fell in love with this story. It was something that I was not expecting. I was not expecting to resonate with these characters and to actually enjoy this story so freaking much. Like, I went into this with little to no expectations, and I was just blown away by the details, by the characters, by what was happening. Also, the paranormal aspects that it has to it was something that I was just like, hey, this is cool, you know? I'm kind of liking it because it is, how can I explain it? It's actually a contemporary with paranormal aspects to it, but it was just such a freaking great story. I love the friendship, even though I questioned some things, but overall their friendship was amazing, and their struggles, and just, it was heartfelt. There were some scenes that were really tough. Like, I wasn't expecting where it was leading to, and I cried in some instances because it was just really painful what they were going through, and why was it that they were hiding certain things. But overall, I loved every single one of these characters, what they went through, what were they willing to give up also. So yeah, this is a great read. This is a hidden gem. I was not expecting that, but overall it was a really good story. Then I have a disappointment, and Louis, I'm sorry man, but Nocturnal by Maya Montaigne. I gave this 2 out of 5 stars. I was not expecting to dislike this story, honestly. I was expecting to actually love it, enjoy it, fangirl over it, but none of that happened. I can say that the beginning of the story is really interesting, is fast-paced. The problem with this story is the second and the third act. They just fall for me, and they didn't make it for me. Also, the main characters were just wrong for me, you know? I understand that this is not for me. Like, I get it. These books are not written for me, you know? Heck, even The Deepest Roots, it isn't written for me. It isn't written for me, but I enjoyed it, that story. This one, I can't say that. The characters were just really infuriating. That's as much as I can say. The world building didn't feel like anything else that I have read before, because even though this is a Latinx inspired world, it didn't feel that way. It just felt like every other YA story. I thought that the Spanish woven into it is just woven into it to be woven into the story. And with this one, I felt that the character took inspiration, like really hard on inspiration from other characters in YA and other things in movies and YA, and just made her own story. And like, it was so palpable right there. Like, I think that if you've never read young adults and you want to get into young adult fantasy, this is the best way to go at it, because if not, you can't help but draw conclusions that this character is like this other character in this book, and this situation is like this other situation in this book, and like this scenario is like this scenario in this book. So there's a lot of instances where you can't help but compare the things that are happening within this book to other books that are already written and that are great on their own. But this one, it was really abundant within the writing and the characters and whatnot. But like I said, the ones that didn't make it for me are the characters. There's also a perspective that's being given into the story that I'm like, what purpose do you serve? There's also the villain. The villain is just disgusting. Like, his end game is just like, what was he even trying to achieve? Honestly, it was just really creepy, and not even eerie, just creepy, man. Like, honestly, no. But there were a lot of things that didn't make it for me, and just this one was not it. And I do know that this is a duology. I don't know how, because like, it also has that instance of yeah, we're not gonna ask the adults because, you know, we're just gonna try and, you know, get over this or try and, you know, understand what's happening without asking the adults who have a lot more information than we have. I'm just gonna try and resolve this problem without anybody else knowing, because our main character unleashes something that he wasn't supposed to, and even though he knows that this other adult can actually aid him in his process, he's not gonna do that because he's embarrassed of what he's done. What the fuck? That's really all I'm gonna say, because like that book just really did infuriate me. Now, speaking about light inspired books, this one, Woven in Moonlight by Isabel Ibanez, beautiful, magnifique, amazing. Just stop what you're doing and read this story, because it is just simply amazing. It is Bolivian inspired, it is whimsical, you have characters that you just want to root for, and it was just such an immersive, fast-paced story, and I was just like, this is so good. There are so many plot twists and revelations that I was not expecting, because I have to admit, the author did fool me. I didn't see it coming, honestly. I just did not see it coming. If I can tell you anything about Woven in Moonlight, is that we have Ximena. Yes, Ximena is a condesa, and she is a decoy condesa, so she takes the place of the rightful ruler of her people. The problem is that she has been ordered to be the wife or betrothed of one of the vilest, cruelest rulers that, you know, their world has, which basically is enslaving their people. So it does have a great aspect on oppression and who really is the oppressed, and when the oppressed actually stand up, how is it that you're going to feel. So it has a really interesting take on that. The magic system is so unique to the story. I loved it a lot, and how whimsical it is, especially Ximena's powers or Ximena's magic. I really did love that. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars or 4.5 out of 5 stars, just because there's a romance that I really didn't root for until the end, and also I would have loved a little bit more world building, but this is just my nerdy side, you know, nitpicking, and also the magic system just a little tiny bit more. But overall, this is going to have a companion novel. I don't know how I feel on that character, just because she wasn't a character that I vibe with in this one, but who knows, they can have a great character arc. But this one, highly recommend for you to read it. It was just such an amazing, incredible, immersive read. Then I picked up Wicked As You Wish. I got this one from Fairy Loot in my December box. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. I just did not enjoy this. There was so much happening in this story, because it is an alternate reality fairy tale set in the modern day world. There's just a lot going on, and I couldn't grasp certain things, and I did not like one of the main characters, because I think that he became such a douche. But there were side characters that I really did love, and that I think have potential to become greater, you know. There were little things that I really did enjoy, but overall this really wasn't something that like gripped me, that I really did enjoy, just because like I said, there's so much happening, and then I was just like annoyed by a lot of things that were happening, and then I was just like, are you for real? So I was just like, whatever. But this just wasn't all that great. It didn't really immerse me as much as I wanted to, and it was just something that I read to read it, and I honestly wanted to DNF it, but I didn't, because I wanted to see how was that it was gonna end. So that's a plus, right? Then I picked up my favorite reread of the month, and that is Crown of Feathers by Nikki Palbreto. I think I've read about this a lot, but I love this story. The world building is incredible, the writing is amazing, the characters are just ones that you really want to love so much, because even though they're in so much turmoil, there's a lot of shit going on. Like the idea of you being a person that can speak to animals and ride phoenixes is just, you have me already there. You know, if you're an animagus and you can speak to animals and you can ride phoenixes, and just it's just so amazing. You know, I loved everything about this, and how our main character is just roughly thrusted into the situation, and this is absolutely amazing, and you should stop what you're doing and actually read it. And I'm currently reading Heart of Flames, which is the sequel to it. It's just so freaking good. And the final book that I'm going to be speaking about is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This is a reread also for me, because I said that this year I'm going to get to this series, and as soon as I finish Heart of Flames, I'm going to go into Legendary. While rereading this, do I have the same thoughts that I did in the beginning? No, a few things did change, but overall I do love the magical aspect to it, and how kind of sinister this island really is, and also who really is damn legend, you know. I really did enjoy this. The characters, there are a few things that are questionable about the sisters, but I just really, one thing that I really dislike is like the horrible mean father figure, and like he's trying to do everything to save them, and it's like, no, you're not. Stop fucking saying that to justify how cruel you are to your own daughters. Like, you're not trying to do that, you're just trying to control their every movement. No, it was interesting to go back into it and read a lot of things, especially things that I've forgotten about, and how is it that the revelations are given. So yeah, I really did enjoy it, even though my thoughts on it changed a bit. If I would have wanted to, I would have lowered it to a 3.75, just because there's a lot of things that I can nitpick. But overall, I really did love the characters and like what they were going through, and also like what made them choose their path within the story. So yeah, it was really great. Yeah, those were all the books that I managed to read for the month of January and February, and some were hits, others were misses, but it's what happens when you read, right? Not everything's gonna be a 5-star read and not everything's gonna be perfect, but I did manage to read a few books. So yeah, that's all for this video. I want to say thank you for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful day and or night. If you're gonna tell me what are you currently reading, I can't even speak right now. What are you currently reading? And if you're enjoying it, then feel free, we'll chit chat down below. But aside from that, have a good day and or night, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.